Confidence is one of the most persuasive signals a human can display. When someone speaks clearly, maintains eye contact, and expresses certainty, we instinctively listen. We assume they know what they're talking about. We assume they've thought things through. And often, without realizing it, we begin to trust them. What's surprising is that this trust forms even when the confident person is wrong. Again and again, history, psychology, and everyday life show the same pattern. Confidence convinces us more than accuracy. Understanding why this happens requires looking not at logic, but at how the brain interprets uncertainty. At its core, the human brain is uncomfortable with ambiguity. Uncertainty creates tension. It demands effort. It forces us to think, evaluate, and take responsibility for our own judgments. Confidence, on the other hand, offers relief. When someone sounds sure, the brain relaxes. The decision feels easier. From a psychological perspective, confidence acts as a shortcut. Instead of evaluating information piece by piece, the brain uses confidence as a signal of reliability. This shortcut saves energy, but it comes at a cost. Research in cognitive psychology consistently shows that people tend to equate confidence with competence, even though the two are only loosely connected. Someone can be deeply knowledgeable and uncertain, while another can be confidently mistaken. Yet in social situations, the confident voice usually wins. One reason for this is evolutionary. In early human groups, hesitation could be dangerous. Leaders who appeared decisive provided a sense of direction and safety. Even if the decision wasn't perfect, moving together as a group was often better than freezing in uncertainty. Over time, the brain learned to associate confidence with leadership and survival. That association still influences us today. Confidence doesn't just signal knowledge, it signals emotional stability. When someone speaks with certainty, they appear calm, controlled, and unthreatened. This makes others feel safe around them. In contrast, uncertainty can be misinterpreted as weakness, even when it's a sign of careful thinking. This psychological bias becomes especially powerful in groups. In group settings, people often look to others for cues on how to think or act. When one person expresses strong confidence, it reduces collective uncertainty. Others follow, not necessarily because they agree, but because agreement feels simpler than standing alone. Over time, this creates a dangerous dynamic. The more people agree with a confident individual, the more confident that individual becomes. And the more confident they become, the less likely others are to challenge them. Accuracy quietly takes a back seat to assurance. History offers many examples of this pattern, but one of the clearest comes from leadership. Consider Napoleon Bonaparte. Napoleon was not just a military strategist, he was a master of confidence. He spoke with certainty, acted decisively, and projected an image of inevitability. His confidence inspired loyalty and obedience on a massive scale. Soldiers followed him into situations that logic alone might have questioned, because his certainty made success feel guaranteed. But as his power grew, so did the consequences of overconfidence. Later in his career, Napoleon made increasingly risky decisions, including the invasion of Russia. His confidence remained strong, even as reality shifted against him. Advisors hesitated to challenge him. Dissent felt dangerous. The same confidence that once unified and empowered his followers eventually contributed to catastrophic failure. The lesson here isn't that confidence is bad. It's that confidence becomes dangerous when it replaces reflection. The brain struggles to separate confidence from correctness, especially when the confident person holds authority. When someone has status, experience, or past success, their confidence carries even more weight. We assume that confidence is earned, even when circumstances have changed. This effect doesn't just apply to famous leaders. It plays out in everyday life. In workplaces, confident speakers dominate meetings. In social groups, confident opinions spread faster. In online spaces, confident claims feel more believable, even when they lack evidence. What makes this bias so persistent is that confidence is contagious. When you hear someone speak with certainty, your own doubts soften. Your internal questioning quiets. This feels good, but it also makes you more vulnerable to being misled. There's another layer to this psychology that's even more subtle. Confidence reduces cognitive load. Thinking critically requires effort. It requires holding multiple possibilities in mind and tolerating uncertainty. Trusting a confident person allows the brain to outsource that effort. The decision feels lighter, even if it's less accurate. This is why confidence is especially persuasive during times of stress, fear, or confusion. When people feel overwhelmed, they crave clarity. Confident voices offer that clarity, whether it's grounded in truth or not. The danger arises when confidence goes unchallenged. Healthy systems depend on a balance between confidence and doubt. Confidence allows action. Doubt allows correction. When doubt is suppressed, mistakes repeat and grow. When leaders, experts, or influencers stop questioning themselves, the cost is often paid by others. So, how do we protect ourselves from this bias? The answer isn't to distrust confidence entirely, but to decouple confidence from credibility. Confidence tells you how someone feels about their belief, not whether the belief is correct. Accuracy requires evidence, openness to challenge, and the ability to revise one's position. Ironically, true expertise often comes with a degree of humility. People who understand complexity tend to speak more carefully, not less. They leave room for uncertainty. And in a world that rewards confidence, those voices are often overlooked. The most important shift is internal. When you notice yourself being persuaded by confidence, pause and ask what's actually being offered. Is it clarity backed by understanding, or certainty that simply feels reassuring? That small pause restores agency. It brings thinking back into the process. Confidence can move people. But truth requires patience. And learning to tell the difference is one of the most important psychological skills you can develop.